Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Rap Loop, a podcast by RapNet, where we unpack the trends and ideas shaping the global diamonds and jewelry trade. And I am your host, Sathi Nair, and today we are talking about the future of luxury, diamonds, gold, and changing industry. Joining me today, Mr. Arnav Mehta from Bluestar, a leading voice in India's jewelry sector, with years of experience in retail, design, and consumer trends. Arnav was a front row seat to how the market is evolving from shifting the buying habits to new forms of luxury and trade. Welcome, Mr. Arnav, to the Rap Loop. Let's start with your journey. Tell me about your journey with Bluestar. How did the growth begins in the industry?
Great. Thanks, Sati. Thanks for inviting me over. Blue Star's been in the industry nearly now 60 years, actually. The same time as the birth of Botswana in 1966, actually, Blue Star was formed by my grandfather and father. So, just to give you a little bit of a brief about myself, I was born into the family, I was born into diamonds. From day one, I mean, since I was a child, I think I've been visiting the office. We still have people who have been working there since I was a child and still managing different portfolios and just been just grown into this business. I learned diamonds at a very young age and always been part of the business, whether it was when I was in university or in school. There have been different associations, different projects that I've been involved in. And I think I've just been born into diamonds and Blue Star. And of course, officially, I joined about a little over 20 years ago. And it's been such a fun journey looking at how the entire business has evolved. Earlier, 20 years ago, we were a manufacturing center, a cutting and polishing center where our customers were all different wholesalers globally. They would come here, we would sell to wholesalers, and just see how India's evolved in this 20-year period. From just being a cutting and polishing center for diamonds, we've evolved into one of the largest consumers of diamond jewelry. And it's been an amazing and fun journey. Of course, a lot of hiccups, and right now we all are questioning uh, what's happening to our trade. But I think, like the diamond, we are always going to be here. We're going to be there forever. The industry is going to go through all turmoils, but I think it's a fun journey, and all of these are part of that journey.
Thank you, because I still remember that I used to come 23 years before, to Blue Star office in Prasad, and where your father was handling the business that point of time, Akshay Bhai. That was my beginning also in the industry, and I could learn a lot of things from your father also. Um, so it's been 20 years. You are in more than 20 years in the industry. What changes or you see in the industry as a Indian diamond industries, basically?
So two ways. I'll break it up into two parts. One is the wholesale and the manufacturing part, and the other one is the Indian retail context. So the first part, of course, manufacturing has completely changed. What I mentioned earlier, we were cutting and polishing here in India because labor was cheaper than the West, like Israel and Belgium and South Africa. More importantly, Indians were accepting technology very well. So when the new machines came out, we hooked on all our Surat and Bombay entrepreneurs, in our artisans came alive. And I think that's really what catapulted us as an industry to take over the entire manufacturing sector. It wasn't just cost. Even the largest of diamonds, the 10 carat D flawlesses, were being done here in the early 2000s itself. And I think it's a lot about the entrepreneurial culture that we had in India, the drive, the ambition of every person to make it big, to make their presence known. And I think that's what really brought about the Indian manufacturing diamond industry, which then evolved into even the distribution hubs. So all the Indians who were manufacturing opened up offices globally to distribute their product over the next the next decade. So from 2000 to 2010, everyone was opening up in Hong Kong, in New York, in Middle East, everywhere. And everyone went one step further down the value chain. And that's how I think the evolution has happened naturally. And today, globally, we can say proudly that the Indian diaspora and Indian companies have the largest majority of stake in the entire midstream diamond industry. And so we're not just a manufacturing hub, but we are the industry midstream players.
That's very true because 95% of the polished diamonds are cut in India.
Absolutely.
And now it's like we are everywhere, globally, everywhere we have this presence. Almost all the major manufacturers, offices everywhere, all the international countries.
Absolutely.
Um, so we cannot say, diamonds without India is impossible. Um, so now coming to another question, gold is always a comfort stone for or an investment mentality in India. Now, when it comes to diamond, how does people perceive diamonds as in terms of trust or in terms of value? How does people see diamonds?
So, well, gold has had a traditional cultural advantage in not just in India and our society, but globally. Through generations, through centuries, we have seen that gold has actually been a source of wealth, a sense of security, a sense of quasi currency for people. And I think that cultural advantage cannot be taken away easily from gold. But gold and diamonds are here to coexist. And in fact, a lot of the diamond industry's growth is attributed to the fact that we had gold also as a source of security that consumers really looked onto. And diamonds, in fact, piggybacked with that gold sentiment here in India, especially. Uh, in India, we'll see 20, 25 years ago, we were predominantly a gold consumer. Uh, I think 95, 98% of jewelry which was sold in India was gold. I mean, the value of it was in gold. And that's evolved a lot in the last 2 decades. I mean, you see a company like Tanishq, for whom diamond jewelry is 30% or gem-studded category is 30% of their business today. And pan India, I think today at an average from maybe 2-3%, we've reached to a 15 to 18% kind of studded jewelry category, which is just growing. And in fact, that growth would have been even faster if not for the gold price increase over the last 2-3 years that we've seen. And when you spoke about trust, the evolution of trust is very crucial to this entire picture. Gold was always measured in weight, in value, very transparently. In diamonds, that came about the last 20-25 years with certification, with certificate labs like GIA, IGI, HRD, and others uh, showcasing transparent parameters and objective parameters for diamonds, to Rapaport coming with a price list and breaking up diamonds in different qualities, categories, and giving a transparent price list. So a lot of transparency has come in through that. Uh, because of transparency, the retailers could convert that transparency to the consumer through certification, through better depicting what the characteristics of the diamonds were, through a Rapaport list who could talk about prices and give education to the consumer about pricing. And I think that's the trust that was lacking earlier. And I think that's actually given that momentum for consumers to buying more and more diamonds over the last 2 decades everywhere, whether it was China and now whether it is India over the last decade. And that transparency has been converted to trust with retailers. The other part, which is very important, I feel, is at retail level, the fact that retailers are giving buyback guarantees
On the diamond.
on assurances on diamonds to the consumer has been a great step. Retailers like Tanishq transparently came and spoke about not just for gold, that they'll do a buyback and assuring with the purity, but even with diamonds. When you give a guarantee of a buyback. That brings in a lot of trust element to the consumer.
So I think this is one of the biggest thing, because gold is always like an investment option for all the Indian mentality and Indian people. We always buy it and keep it, and we can liquidate it immediately. Whereas in diamonds, we didn't, the Indian people didn't know where to sell it, what prices we have to buy it. The transparency was not there. With Rapaport coming into the prices and certification bodies are authenticating what it is for, it gives a lot of, like you said, it gives a lot of transparency to the people. And plus, you are saying that, if I buy a diamond jewelry, I know where to go and sell it for, then that gives more confidence. That leads to me another question. Now, because of the gold prices increases, do you see any changes in shifting consumers' behavior from buying diamond jewelry?
It's too early to tell because the gold has really given a very large increase in the last 6 to 8 months. So already I'm hearing a lot of retailers are citing challenges at retail over the last 3 4 months, that suddenly gold jewelry consumption is facing slight challenges. Because imagine you go to the store and what you could buy 2 years ago, suddenly you're not even getting half of that at in terms of grams. Because again, like I told you earlier, gold was always measured in grams. How many grams am I buying? And what is interesting to interesting point you make, you'll get shocked. In the last 20 years, what would you think the Indian consumer is consuming, more in terms of grams or tonnage, or less? What would you expect?
It will be more.
So that's surprising. The last 20 years, there's been practically no change in the gold import in tonnage and the gold consumption in tonnage in India. But in that same period, gold has gone from roughly 7,000 rupees for 10 grams to 1,30,000. So nearly 25 plus times growth. So, or 20 times growth in that same 20-year period. And so the actual gold consumption in grams has really not changed. So, and with the recent gold price increase, it's retailers are going to find it difficult. Um, A, but but we welcome what the Indian government has done, allowing even 9 KT gold, 9 carat gold, to be hallmarked. Because now consumers will be more confident when they buy even 9 carat gold purity.
Now, do you want to say diamond? What is your opinion? Diamond should be as gold as people should be thinking like an investment, or diamond should be like emotional. We always talk about there's an emotional connection attaching to the diamonds. What is your opinion about?
The biggest debate. But let me take you back to my earlier point. Um, Gold was always a kind of quasi currency. It was a source of security for the Indian consumer, and the consumer always looked at it like an investment. Diamonds traditionally have been a very aspirational and luxury product, a rare product tied with emotion. All our marketing and branding was around the fact that it's linked to engagements. It's linked to modernity. It's linked to design, um, and that's been a very that's been the traditional space that diamonds has taken up in the context of Indian jewelry. But come lab grown diamonds, I think about 6 7 years ago, and the kind of marketing, the kind of number of stores that are opening up in India, the kind of access that the consumer is going to have, I think we are at a kind of crossroads where, as an industry, we need to kind of understand the value propositions of diamonds and relook at it. Natural diamonds has been rare and will always remain rare. It is a commodity. It's a natural commodity. Lab grown is never going to be a natural commodity, because for a commodity to be existing, you need to be rare. There needs to be a limited supply. It needs to come from a source where like I said, supply is limited and cannot be unlimited. And that is the value also of that natural diamond product. Whereas lab grown is never going to have that. But can lab grown serve the needs of an aspirational consumer who has a limited wallet, who is looking to express themselves, uh, express their successes, express themselves in terms of design, that I am fashionable? Yes, lab grown diamonds is going to have that space. So let's look at what proposition natural diamonds can have. I think, can it go down the route of gold and become an investment proposition? Yes, it can. And I think that's where natural diamonds is a strong proposition. It's a very rare, luxurious commodity. Yes, does it touch your emotions? Of course it will. Even gold jewelry does. Jewelry always does. A brand always does. The product gold or diamond does not. Those are just ingredients. But natural diamonds has the option and has the advantage of actually even using the cultural advantage, that the belief of consumers in the jewelry product, which was earlier synonymous with gold. Why can't diamonds also have that same, natural diamonds have that same proposition with the consumer? And I think if we change the narrative a bit and kind of understand where lab grown has its space, where natural diamonds has its space, we will see that the opportunity in natural diamonds is humongous. Uh, and look at gold. I mean, today consumers fall back to it in times of uncertainty in the world. When there's so much turmoil, there's so much war, there's uncertainty. People traditionally have always looked into traditional commodities like gold. And diamonds also has that space. Yes, and can we talk about the proposition of, you asked, is it only linked to love, emotion? Um, yes, so does gold. But in what form? In a jewelry form, in a brand form. And that it'll always do.
Yeah, that leads to me next questions. Lab growns always it came as a disruption to the industry actually. It affected the natural diamond industry also. The way it marketed it affected, I would put it that way. Now, let me ask you, when you talk about the branding, yes, this is something which somewhat we are missing it. Do you think branding and storytelling is very important for the industry or any product which is actually?
I think branding and storytelling is important for any product, whether it's a Starbucks and a simple coffee. Coffee, can I tell you, I mean, there's a price for coffee. Prices of coffee beans have gone up 50-60% like gold and silver over the last 1 year. And at commodity level, are there different qualities of coffee? Of course there are. Coffee from Brazil, what kind of grade of coffee it is, which country it is from, the sourcing, the sustainability. Is it made in a sustainable manner? Is it coming from a country that is having great practices? There's so much that goes behind the pricing of coffee beans. A simple thing like coffee beans. So why not for diamonds? So the answer, to your question is, storytelling is important, but where is the storytelling important? At brand level, at retail. It's not about the ingredient. It's about how do you win the consumer's trust? What is the perceived value for your product? And the product is not diamond. The product is jewelry. It's a need that you're creating for the consumer. It's your brand. The kind of need. You can have a handbag from anywhere. Why do you want an Hermes handbag or a Louis Vuitton handbag or a Coach handbag? Because of the kind of storytelling that brand is doing to affect your emotion, to to let you express yourself through those brands. And I think that's what we need to understand. We're that we're not selling a commodity. We're not selling a product. We are selling the whole package. We are selling an aspiration to a consumer. We are selling luxury to a consumer, and that's what we need to stand for. So branding and storytelling is extremely important, again, for every product, whether it's coffee, whether it's jewelry. And that's where we need to distinguish ourselves, that we are not a we're not selling diamond as an ingredient. We are selling a complete package.
And my last question I wanted to ask you, if you have to give one advice to the Indian industry, what it would be about the future of the natural diamond industry?
Hmm.
I mean, not an advice, also maybe a message.
I think commoditization, we and the natural diamond industry are a rare natural commodity. And consumers love gold. Why shouldn't they love natural diamonds? If you are offering them buybacks, if you are offering them a guarantee, I mean, see, at even despite natural diamonds going down at wholesale level over the last couple of years, at retail, they have not followed suit anywhere in the world. And retailers here in India are still giving that strong buyback. And that's the power. And I think we have to look at natural diamonds as an important element like gold, and we need to see how it can actually be communicated to the consumer, that it's a great product for luxury and aspiration and design and modernity, but also a strong value proposition, that it's a great store of value over the long term, like gold, like silver, like other commodities, and it's a great store of value. And I think I'm not using the word store of value, but I would like that message passed across to the consumer so that they get that same transparency, that same trust in diamonds, in natural diamonds, like how they have in gold or silver.
And that's an excellent message. If the consumer knows, okay, I can buy a diamond, I can go back to the store, I can exchange it or can sell it. I don't think they will be hesitant to buy it.
Absolutely.
That strong message has to reach to the consumers. Thank you, Arnav. And now it's a quick round of rapid fire.
Sure.
Gold or diamonds? What's your pick for the next decade?
Diamonds.
Diamond.
Diamonds.
Most exciting jewelry market in India?
Most exciting jewelry market?
Yes.
I think UP, Uttar Pradesh.
Oh.
I think that's going to skyrocket.
Uttar Pradesh?
Yes.
That's a new news for me.
Yes.
One jewelry trend you will think that will define the next 10 years, maybe in the future?
You will find jewelry at lot more price points than you've ever seen before. You will have things at, so you will find at 5,000 rupees to 5 crores, and the number of price points that you will find, you would have never seen before.
Biggest myth about natural diamonds?
That is not a good investment.
It's an excellent investment.
I wouldn't say it's an excellent investment. I would say it's a great store of value. It is forever. And I think it's a underperforming asset class currently.
It should be looked at differently.
Absolutely.
One important, interesting question, not important. If not in the jewelry industry, what business you would be in? I'm interested to hear this.
Today, in retrospect, I would say anywhere in technology. And why technology? Because technology touches everything, every industry. And I think it has such power to help lives. And technology could be in health, it could be in improving lives, it could be in any area. And it just touches everything. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Arnav. Thank you for joining us. It's an insightful conversation, I must tell you.
Thanks, Sathi.
Thank
Again.
you.